We're standing on the Presumpscot River, a lifeline that has shaped the soul of southern Maine for centuries. Back in the 1800s, the state created the Presumpscot Water and Power Company to build a series of hydroelectric dams on the river and foster the settlement and development of the region. We redevelop historic hydroelectric facilities, providing 24/7 clean power to local communities while preserving and protecting local quality of life. I'm Matthew Wenger, CEO of Relevate Power. At Relevate Power, we redevelop old historic hydroelectric facilities and provide 24/7 clean power to local communities while focusing on also preserving and protecting quality of local life through recreational facilities, through dam safety, and through providing local jobs. Many of these communities that we have these facilities, they wouldn't exist without the hydro facility having been built there 100, 150, 200 years ago. These hydroelectric facilities were the cornerstone of the foundation of these communities. The industries that existed there, the mills, the pulp and paper, the leather mills, factories, all of that was enabled by the fact that there was this water resource available. And they get other benefits from these facilities as well. Flood control, where you had maybe communities that were being wiped out when rivers ran high are now safe to live on. You've got all the light to support those communities, power and light to support other industries. You've got recreation, the ability to go kayaking and fishing out your back door. And so all of these things, all of this quality of life that ends up being created in these communities on the river exists because of these facilities that we're trying to restore.
So some of the projects we've executed have been to remove the H6 turbine from Sebec Station, sent that out for refurbishment. We've also pulled the bearings out of Eel Weir 3. We'll be refurbishing those. Those should be coming back within a couple of weeks, and we'll actually have those machines back online. So at Dundee with the pond control, the technicians running the plant did not really have faith in the pond control system. So I reached out to one of our trusted vendors. We found the bugs in the system. We brought the pond control back online, and now we're catching every bit of water coming down through that station, and we're making every watt with every drop. So the eels, as being stewards of the environment, it's our job to make sure that we have proper upstream and downstream eel passage. We have installed new ladders at Mallison Falls. We're also tracking the downstream eel passage, and we do shutdowns daily through the months of September and October. Quality and safety for the team in the Maine region revolves around being #1 priority. Everything we look at, we want to make sure that we're safe. We want to go home at least as well as we came into work. Quality-wise, we're constantly trying to find the inefficiencies in our processes and take care of those. We're always trying to get more generation out of the water that we have available to us while maintaining being stewards of our environment.
So when you look at the strategy and the footprint of Relevate, you can see the very clear alignment with GDEV's mandate, which is to support the growth of distributed energy resources, deliver strong risk-adjusted return for our investors, and 3, have measurable impact on our local communities and stakeholders. And so that's precisely what Relevate is all about. Their assets have been pillars of their local communities, for some of them for decades. They've, in some cases, created industries or supported the growth of others. They've generally fostered economic growth, and they've also protected and in some cases enhanced their local landscapes and ecosystems. So what we also like about Relevate is that most of their assets provide reliable around-the-clock power to their local communities. What that means is that those assets become eligible to programs such as the Net Energy Billing program here in Maine. In turn, that means a large portion of Relevate's revenue is tied to retail rates, which protects Relevate and its investors against inflation. Another aspect of the company's strategy that aligns really well with GDEV mission is the company's ability to deliver competitively priced power much faster than any alternative in the industry. As a result, they've been able to bring in new capacity into the grids in months instead of years or decades for their competitors.
So one of the things that sets Relevate apart is that our team members live and work where the assets are. So we have not only a vested interest in the success of our projects and Relevate as a whole from a professional perspective, but also a personal one as well. We live and work in the communities where we operate. Our team members are made up of individuals who have been in the hydroelectric industry for a very long time, and we have very deep-rooted and well-established relationships with our regulators and our state and federal agencies. And so we really strive to foster those relationships by having open communication and being proactive about issues. We have attended the Friends of Sebago Lake meetings to understand from the shoreline property owners themselves some of the issues that are of concern to them directly, and try to determine are there things that we might be able to work with the community on to make a better resource for everyone. For Relevate, it's not just about generating power, it's about being stewards of the resource, one of our fundamental core missions. And so on the Presumpscot, for example, we provide minimum flows to protect aquatic habitat, implement eel passage both upstream and downstream. We assist with recreation facility development. We have a couple of recreation facilities here on the river that are open to the public. And we also have ongoing cultural resource studies that we do and report on annually. So in all of these ways, these are things that we can do to help support and sustain the resource and be mindful of the effects that hydroelectric generation has on the resource and be stewards of the environment.
Over the past 2 centuries, water powered much of our nation's development. It's Relevate's mission to ensure these resources continue to sustain quality of life in our local communities for the next 2 centuries and beyond.